Ayo, it's DNA. Y'all now tuned in to rapgrid.com behind the battles. This is a long ass story, man. Now, when I came into grind time in 2009, my whole plan was, I'm gonna get popular and I'm gonna target the most popular dudes. So, I was throwing shots at the dudes that was, that had a higher name than me or that was popular. And Dizaster, he happened to be one of them. But it was like, for some reason, everybody else would take it as, DNA's just, throwing shots. Dizaster he was kind of one of those dudes that took what you said to heart. So right out the gate, we butted heads. I didn't like him, he didn't like me. So we was throwing jabs back and forth in different battles. He was saying this, I was saying that. And every time it was time to battle, he would turn me down. No, I don't want to battle DNA. Fuck DNA, da da da. DNA's whack, DNA sucks. So, my whole time, I was trying to get his attention to take the battle. So finally in 2011, in February, Lush One set it up. DNA versus Dizaster. So everybody's going crazy because it was supposed to go down for like 2 years. It's a long awaited battle. Everybody wanted to see it. So me and him was supposed to battle now. Besides me being on my block shit, he was probably the only other dude in grind time that was doing blogs. So we was going back and forth on the blogs. And me growing up now, being old, I'm 22 and shit, like, I handle shit differently. So I probably wouldn't have took offense or got emotional or did shit that I did back then now because I matured, and vice versa with him. But at the time, it was like two dudes that could dish it out but couldn't take it. So when I said something to him that, maybe crossed the line a little bit, it was, fuck, look at DNA, he's taking it past battle rap, fuck him, I'm gonna fuck him up. He'll say it to me, I'll say the same thing. So it was like we was talking so much shit, but neither one of us could handle it when the other one was saying it. So that was the funny thing, but it was entertaining. It had everybody watching it. So it was one time he said some crazy shit in the blog, and me being with like me being so into it, like, man, he disrespected me. I called him up with Cortez. And I took the video down off my page, but it's still somewhere on the internet. And that's when I told him to meet me in Vegas or whatever. And we was arguing back and forth, going at it. And then he said, because he said that he had 5 dudes waiting for me at the event. This whole shit right here is me keeping it real. I'm gonna be honest. I told y'all earlier with Ron, there was one dude, besides Ron, the only other person I was really shook to battle was Dizaster. Because at the time, he was the only dude that I think that could match my freestyle, and was really creative and was nice. So I'm like, man, I was kind of really nervous to battle him. So once he said that shit about the 5 dudes, I really wasn't concerned about that really, because I know Dizaster, not saying that he's soft or nothing, but I knew he wasn't really about that. It was really about the battle. But I'd use that as a scapegoat, like, fuck it, all right. He's saying I'm not going to the battle, because after thinking about it, I'm like, I'm gonna battle him in Cali. Everybody's gonna be on his side. It's probably not gonna be a good look. Come to find out, it turned out being better when it happened in King of the Dot. But at the time, I'm like, yo, fuck it. So I called the battle off. Another mistake I made in my career. I got backlash for that shit for months. DNA's a bitch. DNA's scared. So everybody's coming at me. Now, the grind time fans, I was trying to get back. I just made it even worse, because now, like, fuck, this is the second time I paid to see DNA in Cali. He doesn't show up. Wild celebrities writing, I can't believe you didn't show up. So I'm getting all this slack. So I battled Young Ill and X Factor. Now, after I battled X Factor, I really had nobody else to battle. You know what I mean? From URL. Nobody else wanted to give me a shot. Everybody was declining me. I don't want to battle you. I don't want to battle DNA. It's not worth it. It's not gonna do nothing. So I was kind of in a fucked up position, you know what I mean, battle-wise, because I couldn't get a battle. You know what I mean? And at this time, it really wasn't cool to take battles with people that didn't have the same stats at you. Like, the game hadn't made that switch yet. So it's like you had to battle somebody on your level or higher. So nobody wanted to battle. So I remember I was talking to Clips. I'm like, yo, fuck, man, I shouldn't have fucked up that Dizaster battle. I should have took it. So this nigga, you know what I mean, like, cause, you know, even though, you know what I mean, me and Clips both battle rap or whatever, you know what I mean, he's like one of the, like, he, you know what I mean, if I could say anybody is responsible for me, like, really changing my attitude, you know what I mean, becoming more humble, understanding, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, it's like a point where you see DNA matured. I have to say it's between Clips and my man Blessed by the Beats, because they used to tell me, like, yo, DNA, you know what I mean, you're smart, but the way you handle situations is incorrect. Like, you show people you're too emotional, and that was one of the things I always used to show, you know what I mean, like, oh, DNA's emotional. So with Clips talking to me and my man Blessed by the Beats, it really, like, sunk into me, like, they get this new type of attitude. So, and I really gotta say, like, it's the Dizaster battle that really, when I started catching it. So Clips is like, yo, I could get you to battle with Dizaster. I'm like, nigga, like, when the fuck did you become a host, like a promoter or some shit? Like, how are you gonna get me to battle? So Dizaster was looking for a battle too. So Clips writes him, yo, why don't you take the battle with DNA? So Dizaster's like, for what, Clips, for what? He backed out. He's gonna back out again. DNA's a little bitch. So you know me, I'm seeing it on Twitter. I'm like, I'm about to write this nigga now, man. Fuck the battle. I'm gonna fuck him up. So Clips is like, yo, chill. I got this. He's like, yo, Dizaster, man. You know what I mean? You don't got nobody else that's willing to battle you that's top tier, and neither does DNA. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the biggest battle of your career. And Clips told me, yo, if Dizaster accepts the battle, I'm telling you, this is gonna be the biggest battle you ever had. And at the time, I didn't see it. I'm like, what? Like, why the fuck would this be the biggest battle? So finally, Organic sees me and Dizaster arguing on Twitter, talking about we'll do it. And he's like, I'll set it up. So when URL sees it, they call me. And Organic has said, yo, you know what I mean, this is last minute, this is all I could offer. Do y'all want to do it? URL calls, we'll double it. Do it over here. So for a second, I'm like, I could get more money and the battle could go down on URL. Let's do it on URL. Clip said, nah, don't do it on URL. I'm telling you, it's not gonna benefit you doing it on URL. So I said, let me think about it. So I sat down and I thought about it. And I said, all right, if I battle Dizaster on URL, it's really not a win for me. It's a lose-lose either way. Because if I beat him on URL, all his fans is gonna say DNA beat him really at my home, because URL was where I battled at more. And if Dizaster comes to URL and spits some crazy shit, it's gonna look worse for me because I lost where I usually battle. So I said, URL is my home, Grind Time is his home, King of the Dot is the middle. And it's to his advantage because he battled there more times than me. So I called Organic, like, yeah, I'm gonna take the battle in Canada. So now when I take the battle, at this time I never traveled besides when I went to Florida to battle Little Farnham. So I didn't know how it worked. They told me, yo, you can't bring nobody with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't tell me that I could have, but obviously, you know what I mean, the people that wanted to come with me would have to pay. Ain't nobody really had the money to pay. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going out here by myself. Then when Organic announced the battle, the response I got, I knew the battle was gonna be big. I'm like, this might be one of my biggest battles. I'm going to a new founded place, Dolo, to battle Dizaster. You know what I mean? A dude that if it's anybody, like, everybody has that villain or their rivalry. That was the rivalry, DNA and Dizaster. That was the biggest rivalry that either one of us had. So I'm like, I'm going out here Dolo. Plus, the first time I was supposed to battle Dizaster, I spit all my rhymes that I had for him like an idiot on camera. So I had no material. So I'm like, fuck, this battle's locked in. And the time limits this time was extended. It was 4 minutes the first round, 4 minutes the second, unlimited the third. So I'm like, I gotta come up with all this new material. And for a while, I was just like, it's like I had so much to talk about, but at the same time, I had writer's block because I didn't know where to start. I'm like, yo, this has to be the best shit I ever come up with. And then finally, as time went on, the material started hitting me. And my man Blessed by the Beats hit me up like, yo, yo, you know Dizaster dissed Organic. And at the time, I had remembered it, but not really. I'm like, he did? He's like, yeah, why don't you check that out? So I checked it out. I'm like, oh, he did. And then I watched both of Dizaster's Grind Time battles. I mean, King of the Dot battles, and nobody that he battled brought it up. So I'm like, oh, this is some new material, and we in Canada. So I start writing and writing. But mind you, I still got no rounds. Now it's the day of the battle. It's the day before the battle. And the way the day is going, I'm like, I'm gonna get destroyed. First of all, it's Friday. The battle's on Saturday. I still have no rounds for him. I just have mad material scattered. Second off, I overslept. I woke up late. I rushed to get a haircut. I had to hop in the cab from Queens to try to go all the way to Manhattan so I could catch a bus to go to Jersey because King of the Dot booked my flight to leave from Newark to Canada. I'm in traffic. I try to get on the train. The A train is not running. I missed my flight. I call Organic like, yo, bro, I missed my flight. Like, what can I do? He's like, yo, honestly, man, you're gonna have to refund us for the money and you're not even gonna be able to do the battle. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, there's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna miss this battle twice in a row. Like, nigga, like if this was something that would end my career, that definitely would. Like, my career would be ended. Like, all right, DNA is just scared to battle Dizaster. So I'm like, what can we do? He's like, the only thing we can do is take the money out of your purse to get another ticket. I'm like, fuck it, take the money out. It's nothing to, like, if you don't take the money out, there's no way I'm gonna get there this fast and everybody's gonna think I lied. So take the money out. So he takes the money out. I get back on the train to go for the flight. I fall asleep on the train. I wake up all the way in Washington Heights, and now I gotta catch a flight at 5:30 and it's already 4. I'm like, yo, if I miss this one, it's definitely over. So finally I get down to 42nd in time. I finally get to the airport in Jersey. I get in just in time. Mind you, I still have no rounds. So now I'm sitting down. It's like 5 o'clock. I'm waiting for the flight. Finally the flight comes. I fall asleep on the flight because I'm so tired. So now I'm in Canada and the battle's tomorrow and I have 0 rounds. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get destroyed. Luciano, Crack, and Tycoon Tax meet me and they're like, yo, DNA, you got your rounds for Dizaster? I'm like, nah. They're like, what do you mean, the battle's tomorrow? I'm like, nah, man, like, shit just been happening crazy. I couldn't prepare. So, mind you, at this time, I don't have a credit card. So Luciano Crack uses his credit card to book the room. So he's like, yo, can I bring these girls through or whatever? I'm like, yo, I'm really trying to pay attention, you know what I mean, on my rhymes. So he's like, oh, only for 20 minutes. So he brings the girls through. The chick is drunk. She spills sweet and sour sauce all over my fucking sheet. So I'm barking on her, I'm mad tired. I'm like, yo, everybody get out. Just get out, man, get out. So I'm fucking mad in the room. And then I guess me being so mad, that's how I started coming up with all the shit. I started putting all together, everything. So, you know what I mean, in like the matter of 3 hours, I had 2 rounds. So I'm like, good. At least I got 2 rounds. So for the third, I'm like, fuck it. This nigga wants to freestyle, I'm gonna freestyle the whole third round. I'm not even gonna write one. So I keep practicing the first 2 rounds. So when I get there, whatever, I never got a chance to really go in about him dissing Canada. So I'm like, I'm gonna save that for the third round. That's a topic I'm gonna bring up. So now, you know what I mean, I get there. Mind you, I forgot this part of the story. When I get to the hotel, the first person I see is Dizaster. So I'm just looking at him and he's looking at me, and then Thesaurus tells him to walk off, and then Tycoon Tax and them tell me to walk off. So we just keep staring at each other and we dip off. So the next day I'm at the event wild early. Dizaster doesn't show up, so I keep preparing. So the whole time I'm thinking like, yo, Dizaster's gonna bring some type of prop. That's why he didn't show up, because this is the biggest battle. So I'm wild nervous, like, oh man, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? So it's almost time for us to battle, and everybody starts saying, yo, Drake is here, Drake is here. So I'm laughing like, oh man, I'm in Canada, Toronto, where Drake is from, so they probably seen the limousine and think Drake is in it. So when they call us out to battle, Drake is there. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Drake came to the battle? So Organic is like, yo, Drake said that he wants the battle judged and it's 3,000. But I already saw Drake conversing with Dizaster. So I'm like, Like, hell no, I'm not doing this. Like, this is Dizaster's friend. Fuck no. So I'm like, I don't want to judge. So he's like, oh, DNA, you're a bitch. You don't want to judge. I'm like, nah, we didn't agree to that. Fuck that. I don't want to judge. That's not what was in the rules. Hell no, you're cool with Drake. He's like, it's Drake. I'm like, nigga, I don't care who it is. That's your friend. Like, it wouldn't matter who it was. So I'm like, nah, we're not doing the judge. So Dizaster spits his first round, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, this shit is crazy. In my mind, but of course I'm playing it off like this shit is whack. So when I go to rhyme, you know what I mean, I'm just looking at everybody because they think it's over before it started. Like, yo, after that, there's no way DNA is gonna be able to compete. So when I start rhyming, and Dizaster gets in my face when I said we could go to Vegas, we could go to Vegas and still fight. And he gets in my face and Organic backs us up. I'm about to choke. So I'm like, fuck, man, there's no way I could choke in this battle. I gotta say something to make the crowd go crazy now so I could buy time to remember my rhyme. And then that's why I didn't even make sense with the first line when I say you're trying to fuck me up when it's dead time. But Drake said, but you ain't gonna make none of his headlines. And then that's when the crowd started really going crazy. That's when I caught my rhyme and they all started going crazy. Then in the second round, you know what I mean, we both went at it. And then when it was the third round, I was so happy that I won the coin toss because I'm like, yo, I get to end the battle off. Because that's one thing. Sometimes it don't matter if you battling a dude who goes first or second, but when you battling somebody that freestyles, you have to go last. Because you need the lasting impression, because they can rebuttal whatever you say. So whoever gets the last word, 9 times out of 10 is gonna look like the winner. So when he went first or whatever, he rhymed for like 10 minutes. So, and I didn't have no material really for my third round. So when I went in my third round, the line that they went crazy for was, if it's war, then I'll mark them and leave your face with a scar, bro, because that's all the streets in Toronto. So my round is still good, but I still don't have a point where I feel comfortable to end it because I'm not killing him. So it dawned on me like, yo, you didn't bring up the shit about him dissing Organic. I brought it up in the second round, but I didn't go into detail. So I brought it up into detail in the I brought it up in the detail in the third round. So the crowd is like, everybody starts getting style like, wow, he's really bringing this shit up. So when I start bringing it up or whatever, I'm like Dizaster, say it again. So he says it, and then he says, fuck Canada. So they all start booing him. And then it wasn't planned. So once they started booing him, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna bring it back up. If he says it this time and he says fuck him again, they're gonna boo him some more. And if he doesn't say it, then it's gonna look like I bitched him. And that was my whole strategy in the battle. And that's when it dawned on me freestyling. Like, yo, if I can make Dizaster look like a punk, I won the battle. Because nobody ever made Dizaster look like a herb. Like, it's always him doing it to somebody else. He's always screaming on somebody, always freestyling, always getting into somebody's face, making them look like, you know what I mean, the punk, the little guy, and he's the bully. So I'm like, yo, if there's any way that I can make him look like he's the punk, I won the battle. And right when he didn't say it again, that's when before it was close, it was going either way. But right then and there, once I got him to not say it again, and I said, exactly, you ain't say it the second time because you knew you didn't mean that. That's when I was like, yo, I definitely won this battle. You know what I mean? But someone was at 2 million views. That was the first battle. A real celebrity was there. Drake gave us both 1,500. And I mean, that shit is on Wikipedia, World Star, every possible website there is. And I mean, like the phone calls and the celebrities that reached out to me after that battle, like, you know what I mean, that's like the greatest moment for me ever in battle rap. I don't think nothing will ever, you know what I mean, equal up to that just because of the ride. Like, that was like the most anticipated battle I ever will have, I think. You know what I mean?
Since they made me boss, and I'ma keep catching a body like trying to help a baby walk. Come to daddy, nigga.
I hate them.
That's a strong word.
I know.
It holds resentment and shit.
Because I do have resentment. They
you gotta let that go.